Your life isn't happening to you. It's responding to you every single day. And the terrifying part? Most people are broadcasting a signal they've never chosen. They wake up anxious. Think about what they don't have. React to whoever's loudest around them. And they call that living. It's not living. It's transmitting on the wrong frequency. And reality, actual reality, is picking it up every single time. This video is not about manifestation. It's not about positive thinking. It's not about vision boards or 369 methods. It's about something older. Something your nervous system already knows. Something you've been accidentally using against yourself. Stay with me. Here's what nobody tells you. You are not just a person walking through the world. You are a signal. A living, breathing electromagnetic field that extends beyond your skin. Science actually backs this. Your heart generates the body's most powerful electromagnetic field, detectable several feet outside your body. That's not mystical. That's physics. But here's where it gets real. That field is shaped by what you feel, not what you think, not what you say. What you feel consistently at your baseline. And whatever frequency that field is operating on, the world around you calibrates to it. The people who enter your life, the opportunities that find you, the problems that keep repeating. All of it is resonance. You attract what you are, not what you want. And that's the problem. Because most people are very clear about what they want and completely unconscious about what they are. Here's the first sign you're running the wrong frequency. You feel fine in moments, but anxious in the background always. Not panic. Not depression. Just a low hum of something's not right. You can laugh at dinner, enjoy a movie, have a decent day, and still feel underneath it all like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. That low hum? That's your baseline frequency, and it's not neutral. It's broadcasting. Every decision you make from that state is a decision made from scarcity. Every relationship you build from that state is built on needing, not choosing. Every opportunity that comes near you is filtered through, is this too good to be true? Sounds small, it's not. Your baseline is the antenna. Everything else is just noise. By the time you were 7 years old, your nervous system had already been programmed, not by you, by the adults around you, by the emotional climate of your home, by what was rewarded and what was punished. And you built an entire personality around it. You became the peacekeeper, the overachiever, the one who doesn't need anything, the one who's always fine. And here's the part that stings. That identity, the one you've been performing for decades, is your current frequency. Not your dreams, not your goals, not your journal entries, your automatic, default, unquestioned self. You can't broadcast abundance from a body that learned survival. You can't attract depth from a self that learned to hide. The frequency isn't in your head. It's in your patterns. Stop. I need you to hear this one carefully, because this is where most self-improvement content lies to you. You're doing the work. You journal, you meditate. You listen to the right people. You know all the right words. And you're still stuck. Here's why. There's a difference between performing growth and becoming it. One happens in a notebook. The other happens in your nervous system. You can spend 30 minutes every morning visualizing your dream life and spend the other 23 hours and 30 minutes running the same fearful, small, contracted version of yourself. Guess which one wins? The one that runs longest always wins. Not the loudest moment, not the most emotional breakthrough. The most consistent signal. Your morning routine is not your frequency. Your default state, when nothing is going right, when no one is watching, when you're tired and stressed and alone, that is your frequency. And that's the part nobody wants to hear. Think about someone you know who completely changed their life. Not gradually, suddenly. One day they just moved different, talked different, chose different. And you thought, what happened to them? Here's what happened. They stopped waiting. Most people have this completely backwards. They think, first I'll feel confident, then I'll act bold. First I'll feel worthy, then I'll stop settling. First I'll feel ready, then I'll start. But the feeling never comes first. It can't. Your brain doesn't reward intention. It rewards evidence. Every time you act from the person you want to become, before you feel like that person, you send a signal to your nervous system. This is who we are now. Do it once, it notices. Do it twice, it adjusts. Do it consistently, it rewires. The gap between acting and feeling, that's not fake. That's not delusion. That's the frequency shifting in real time. Most people quit in that gap because uncomfortable means wrong to them. It doesn't. Uncomfortable means new. Here's the thing nobody wants to tell you. Raising your frequency doesn't feel good at first. In fact, it feels deeply wrong when you start operating from a higher state, more grounded, more intentional, more rooted in who you want to be. Your nervous system flags it as danger. Because your nervous system doesn't know the difference between good change and bad change. It only knows familiar and unfamiliar. And unfamiliar feels like threat dot, so when you start holding boundaries with someone who used to control you, it feels wrong. When you start moving toward your goals without waiting for permission, it feels arrogant. When you start choosing yourself for the first time in years, it feels selfish. That discomfort is not a warning. That discomfort is the frequency shifting. The moment you stop trusting that feeling, you go back to baseline, and the cycle repeats. Here's the question I want you to sit with. What if your life right now, your relationships, your income, your health, your opportunities, what if all of it is accurate? Not cruel, not unfair, not random. Accurate, a precise match to the frequency you've been operating on. That's uncomfortable. I know, because it removes the excuse that the world is against you. But it also gives you something far more powerful than an excuse. It gives you authorship. If your life is a match to your frequency, then changing your frequency changes your life. Not someday, not gradually. At the root. The version of you running on fear and the version of you running on certainty don't have the same life. They can't. They're broadcasting on completely different signals. And reality is always listening. You're not broken. You're just broadcasting old code you didn't write, code you've never audited, code you've been running since childhood like it's still relevant. It's not. But here's the hard truth. Nobody upgrades that code for you. Not a therapist, not a partner, not a podcast. You have to catch yourself in the moment you're about to run the old pattern and choose differently, one moment, then another, then another. That's how frequency shifts, not in a breakthrough. In 1,000 tiny betrayals of who you used to be, reality doesn't respond to who you were. It responds to who you're becoming. And becoming someone new doesn't start with a big decision. It starts with one moment, where you almost ran the old pattern and didn't. That moment is the frequency. That moment is everything.